She's excited, and it's more progress than she expected, but not as much as I expected. So I guess it's kind of a happy medium. All right, so it is almost 3 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and I want to show you guys what I've got going on here. So this is all just dry layout, and the reason I did this, I haven't cut over in this corner here yet. I'm going to sort through my scrap pieces. Same with this here and around the corner there. But the reason I decided to lay this all out dry is when I started finding where my when I started to find out where my centerpiece was going to, or my center line was going to be, basically I followed this line all the way to the door, and that laid out pretty well, and then I just moved over left and right from those. And the walls aren't 100% square, which I knew that, but they're within a pretty good margin by the time the trim is up and everything like that. Shouldn't have any issues. The other thing is there were a few high spots on the floor, and so with laying the tile out ahead of time, I could find where those were and smooth them out a little bit. And but the biggest thing is I wanted to make sure that I actually was going to have enough tile, and fortunately I do. There were I don't know, probably a dozen sheets or so that were either cracked, broken, chipped, whatever, and I couldn't use the whole sheet, but in a pinch I would have been able to cut out a row or two off of some of those and do some of the fill work there. And I may still use those broken sheets, just so that the ones that I do return are usable for anybody else that might need this tile. So I will what I've done is I've gone ahead and cut everything. If you see the ones with the blue masking tape, those have already been cut, laid out. I've numbered them, starting with 1 over there, and then they'll just go up in sequential order. And I'll do the same thing tomorrow on the ones that I've cut over on this side and the ones over here along this little wall. I still need to cut these here. So still have a little bit of work to do in the morning, but at 3 o'clock I want to get at least 4 or 5 hours of sleep before I have to get up and take care of the animals in the morning. So and the other thing was I didn't want to start mixing any thin set and then have to clean up all that stuff, because I wasn't going to be able to do the whole thing tonight anyway. I didn't get started until about 9:30 doing this layout. I did get the third coat of drywall mud on here, and it helped a lot running that fan. I'm going to turn the fan back on tonight and get some circulation going in here again. So the plan is I'll come in, I'll finish cutting the last few cuts here, label, and then I'll start pulling up the labeled ones and keep them in their respective areas. And then the rest of them will just be full sheets. So I'll just stack them back up into piles of 10 or whatever. And it shouldn't be any problem with just laying it all out again. So one thing that I did not do is I did not cut the ones for this top edge here. I did cut the ones for either side. And what I'm using is this Schluter style bullnose trim, and I think that's going to end up being done another day, whether it's tomorrow or the following day or 2 days later. I'll come through and I'll do that threshold there. But I wanted to make sure that I had enough for all that and got it all laid out and everything like that. And it's going to overlap on top of the floor tile anyway. So I'll probably put the sides on if I can, and I'll probably tape up and over so that they're taped to each other on each side, taped to each other to kind of hold them up, keep them from peeling back down. And then I'll come through and put in the 2 pieces of the bullnose and figure out what width I need to run down that centerpiece there. So worst case scenario, that'll take 5 sheets of tile. Best case scenario, it'll only take 2 or 3, 2.5, 3. So I've got about 8 good sheets, or I think they're good. Plus I've got a bunch of kind of mismatched sheets, maybe 10 or 12 or whatever. I also found that some of the bullnose edge tile for the backsplash or the side wall were chipped up in the box that I had. So fortunately I got some extras of those. I thought I needed about 40. I ended up buying 60 because that was 2 full boxes. And so once I'm done with the tile in here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to take some plastic and tape it all off like I was painting a wall or whatever. Put some painter's plastic down, and then I can sand the wall. I've got to put the red guard on there in the wet area and go from there. I don't know if all this is going to get done before my wife gets home, but hopefully she's excited that it's pretty close. So I'm going to call it a night, and I'll check back with you guys tomorrow. Okay, welcome back to Boisterous Cock Farmstead. I'm not sure what day we're on. It's been a long time. Today is Saturday the 10th, and I think the last time I checked in was on day 7. I think today's day 9. And so I got the floor laid 2 days ago, and I let it dry completely all day yesterday. Didn't go in there, and everything seems to look all right. I need to go in and clean up the grout lines where some of the thin set seeped through, or the tile was pushed down too far, or I just had too much thin set, whatever. And so While I was letting that sit yesterday, I came over to the bedroom. I pulled the furniture out. You can see I got my bed, Asher's crib here in the living room. And one thing I wanted to make sure that I did ahead of time was make sure that this door fit in here properly. And the main issue was on that threshold down there. So because these are two separate heights, this side is actually lower than the bedroom slab by almost an inch. It's not quite an inch. I want to say it's like 7/8 of an inch or so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some tile, just rip some tile from the flooring that's going to go in here and put that as a support piece off of this edge of the slab, and then I'll have this trim piece that will go here. It'll be partially resting on that tile that's underneath there to give it a little bit of support so it's not going to get pulled off constantly. And then the rest of it will be tiled out. So I actually laid this tile out last night, and just to check to see, there were a couple spots in here that I needed to actually do some more scaling on. This is the biggest part right here, where it was like three almost into the third row of tile there. I had to chip that back. The rest of it, although there is a little bit of undulation in it, I think it's within the margin of being able to put the thin set in there. So I stacked these tiles back up onto these two little dollies so that I could just kind of roll them around and start laying this tile out. So that's what I'm doing now is I'm going to do one last clean. I'll vacuum this floor in here, get all the little chips and dust and everything from what I was working on, clearing those, leveling those spots out. You see the door closes nice and snug. And then I'll start mixing up some thin set, and we'll get to tiling on this one. So I'll have this one laid today, let it sit over a 24-hour period, and I'm not going to be able to grout it until probably next weekend, because I'm going to pick up my wife and son tomorrow. And so that'll be what I'll be working on today. And then tomorrow is just really going to be cleaning up. I might do a little bit of cleaning out the grout lines in here. That's going to take a while because there's so many grout lines in this this hex tile. Looks really nice, pain in the butt to lay. So that'll be tomorrow morning. I believe the tub refinishing kit is supposed to show up today. It was tracking with UPS, and then it shows on UPS that they handed it over to the post office, probably because UPS doesn't do Saturday delivery. So fingers crossed that will actually get delivered today. And then throughout the week, I'll work on finishing that and refinishing the tub and everything like that. That's something I can do in small spurts throughout the week, so I'm not too concerned about that. But the big stuff like laying out the tile are things that are not as easy to do in small chunks of time. So that's the update for now. So I will keep you guys posted and let you see what the final progress is right before my wife shows up. I did tell her, I don't know if I said this in a previous video, I did tell her what I've been working on because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get the tub installed in time for various reasons. So I did show her the progress and everything like that. So she's in the loop now. She still obviously hasn't seen it in person, but she's excited, and it's more progress than she expected, but not as much as I expected. So I guess it's kind of a happy medium. But anyway, so I'm gonna get to working on this tile and show you guys the progress here in a little bit. All right, so welcome back. It is Saturday night. I got the tile done and pretty happy with it, considering all the things that I had to do as far as prepping and chiseling and repouring. There is a couple spots. There's one high spot over there that I can see that I didn't find it until I was already laying the tile. But one thing, I'm not super concerned about it. The ones that were a little high, I just really back buttered the tile. And the main concern that I would have is that it's not a tripping hazard, which I don't think that one is. But this tile actually has undulations in it to mimic wood grain, so it kind of almost gives it a feel like there's an old floorboard that's sticking up a little bit. So I don't mind that. I'll find out tomorrow, you know, how it really is sitting in there. But overall, pretty happy with it. I ended up doing a transition piece here and over in the closet, and this wall, I've said it before, is not square to itself, or not square because it kind of dips in right here, and that's pretty much the only wall we didn't replace in the house, with the exception of the block walls. So it makes sense that would not be straight. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how it laid out, how it looks. It looks really good to me. My wife really loves it. So tomorrow, I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna put the door back on. Tomorrow they are coming in at night. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'll probably just spend a little bit of time cleaning up tomorrow. And if I have a little bit of extra time, I'll start cleaning out the grout lines in here. So that's gonna do it for this edition. I'll do future stuff, but it's gonna be next weekend or so. So I'll put this in a compilation. And if you like this video, like the progress, like the projects that we're working on, please give us a thumbs up. If you don't already, please subscribe to our channel. Click the bell notifications so that you're notified when other videos come out. And as always, thanks for joining us, and God bless.